House of Cards podcast, the show where we break down the art of creative real estate investing. Join us as we dive into the world of real estate with insider tips and tricks for making your investments go further. From buying with no money down to flipping properties for profit, we've got you covered. Plus, stay tuned for expert guest speakers who will share their knowledge and experience in this ever-changing market. So grab a seat and get ready to learn the secrets to success in real estate investing. And now, from Alaska to New York, your hosts, Chris James and Jesse Stanton.
What's going on, everyone? Today is Saturday, July 20th. So, guys, July 20th is already here, 2024, and I just now reflecting that it's been almost 3 years since we've been doing not just podcasting, but more so real estate in general. And it's pretty interesting to think that a few years ago, I wouldn't lie about anything, never be vulnerable about anything, or neither communicate about just what's going on in my life. And just want to say, thank you to everyone that's in my corner, everyone that's not just in my corner, but also in my circle. And Ken Wilson, good morning, my guy. Good morning. We got Terry in the house. What's going on? So, yeah, it's been great. It's been a great few years, and it's only going to get better. It's definitely only going to get better. Ken West has loved the background, Chris. Thank you, man. It's actually my backyard. So, I haven't got the office yet. I'm still in between 3 different offices, trying to see exactly which one I'll pull the trigger on. But appreciate it, man. Appreciate it. Bill Pace, what's going on, man? Good to see you. Good to see you. Look at that, Jim LaBella. So, yeah, guys, it's great to see everyone here. And guys, today's topic is going to be all things real estate, but I'm also going to talk about more so the reality of real estate. A lot of people like to share the wins. They like to share a lot of different things that's going on with their business. It's great to receive that $10,000 or $20,000 or $50,000 check or $100,000 check, and I see it all the time. It's great to share wins, but we see more wins than actual. I wouldn't call it losses. I'm just going to call it opportunities. So today I'm going to talk about a little bit about the opportunities and what that looks like on the scale. Angel Miller's in the house. Good to see you, Angel. Or virtually see you, I should say. Angel need to hurry up and get her ass to Florida. Her, James, everyone need to get to Florida as soon as possible. Congrats on the closing. Thank you, man. Appreciate it. Definitely appreciate it. I will be talking about that as well. That's one thing I'm going to talk. Actually, not today. I will be talking about probably next week about a little bit, because this is a very unique closing, I should say, from our personal home. So I want to talk about that a little bit and also go through a couple of the, I want to say obstacles, but some things is very rare within a transaction that I'm going to disclose to you guys what that looks like. So, guys, first and foremost, thank you for being here. I just want to say, if you haven't joined our Facebook group, Jesse and I, Revolt networking with wholesalers and creative investors, please join the group. We do a lot of different things in there, not just from transaction coordinating. We also do a little bit of coaching. We also do a little bit of mindset. We do a little bit of everything, guys. And it's a free group. Just join a free group. There's a lot of people in there. There's amazing individuals who can help you. We only want people in there who's actually going to be not, I'm just going to say selfish. We don't want people that in there is going to be selfish. We want everyone to work with everyone, because there's a lot of money in there to be made. Let's be honest, a lot of money. You can find your next JV partner, whether that's a private money lender, whether that's a private money partner. You can find your next lead generation individual, your account manager, HR manager, operations manager. There's so many different things you can find within inside the group. So don't forget to join that when you guys get a spare second. And guys, let's be honest, we're not the only Facebook group out there. There's 1,000 different real estate groups out there. Just want to keep that option open if you guys desire to join or not. That's no problem. So guys, we're going to talk a little bit about obstacles that face not within business, but also within the overall real estate industry. Because we see people post about wins, and it's lovely to see the wins. I'm truly happy that they're showing wins. But sometimes you got to just post about the obstacles and what you actually did to go through those specific obstacles, because a lot of people don't do that. And one thing I do want to share is something that we faced with one of the properties we recently closed on. And it was actually over in, I believe this was at Texas. It was over in Texas where some may know this, but some may not. But I do want to disclose that this is over in Texas on property purchased back in November or December. Actually, now I'm thinking about it, wasn't in Texas. We actually bought it at the same time. It wasn't in Texas. It was actually New Orleans. So this specific property in New Orleans, right before Mardi Gras, we hired a contractor. We hired a contractor to facilitate the project of what we were trying to do in regards to a pad split. That one specifically was, if I'm not mistaken, about 9 bedrooms, 8 or 9 bedrooms. And the contractor, we had many conversations with them. Our operations team did a phenomenal job trying to make sure we found the right one, right? But at the same time, everything doesn't go the way it seems, right? And it's okay. It is okay. And this specific contractor, was doing a great job during the project. The first draw went out, second draw went out, and then of course, a week before Mardi Gras, another draw went out to him, and unfortunately, he ghosted us. Now, what do you do in that situation? Do you panic, shut down business? What do? You call 911? Like, what do you do if someone ghosts you and you just sent out around $40,000? And people probably think like, okay, $40,000. Some may think, oh, that's nothing. Some people may think it's a lot. Whether it's $40 or $40,000 or $40 million, the point is, the individual ran off right before Mardi Gras, actually days before Mardi Gras, and we never heard from him again. So some may give up. Some may think about what do I really do in this situation, right? And fortunate enough, the team we have, you got to be prepared for those situations. Although you never want it to happen, you just got to be prepared. Now, let me just paint the picture for you. $40,000 is now gone. There's private money lenders involved. There's about 3 private money lenders on this specific property over in New Orleans. What do you do? Do you just tell the lenders, oh, we can't pay you because the contractor did this, and this? No. You have a legal obligation, contractually, you have an obligation to make sure you perform and make sure your lenders are paid. Whether the contractor disappears or whether the house breaks down or the house blows up. Obviously, we want the house to blow up, but we have a contract with the 3 lenders. The 3 lenders still have to get paid. Again, we closed on this property in November, December. In December, it was November, December. I know it was during the holidays, and everything was going great. So unfortunately, we did have to hire another contractor to, unfortunately, continue doing what the initial contractor was supposed to do. And did that cost more money? Absolutely. Absolutely. There's a reason why when people send deals to us specifically, and they said they got this home run deal, they got this amazing opportunity, they have this great deal, and the entry fee is like $20,000 or $30,000. When we do the underwriting, and we're looking at the entry is about $90,000 to $100,000, or maybe more. We're taking consideration holding costs. We're taking consideration private money lending. We're taking consideration utilities. We're taking consideration war chests. It's a lot of different things we have to take consideration, because let's be honest, guys, the House of Cards. That's the reason I named the podcast House of Cards, because you just never know what kind of hand you're gonna be dealt in real estate. It may seem amazing on the front end, but when you walk into that house, you never know what you're gonna find behind the walls. Just never know. So this is something that we went through. It's still actually current through. So luckily we got the second contractor to actually go in and continue the work. And unfortunately had to repair some of the initial work that was done because it wasn't done properly. This actually helped us because I'm so glad this did happen, because internally it helped us better our operations, better our systems, better our vetting process, which is huge. Because let's be honest, you can have the best vetting process in the world, but you just never know what someone on the other side is going through. You just never know. Maybe that contractor had good intent to finish the project. He came highly recommended from several individuals, and everyone was shocked. But you truly don't know what someone's going through. Maybe that contractor was going through something financially and needed the money, or maybe the contractor was going through a death in a situation. You just never know. I don't want to go down a rabbit hole, but I just want to let you guys know that these are obstacles in real life that we face in our business, and that's something that we face and currently are facing, and it's okay. It is okay. Angel says, "Hope for the best, prepare for the worst." 100%. You have to. You definitely have to, because if you don't, you just you're gonna face so many obstacles, I should say. It's just gonna be unreal how you can actually bounce back. And when going through these kind of things, you really learn who's really in your corner, how people are going to react, especially if you got new JV or partnerships. Just imagine you're doing that dating phase, meeting your business partner, and within the next 60 days, you really see how they're going to react when things go wrong, things go right, something's missing, money's missing, parts are missing, materials are missing. You just never know. So it's good to actually go through these things, because now you know exactly that. Now you see exactly how someone's going to react when this kind of things happen, or are they going to flip out and just disappear? You just never know. So I'm very thankful that Jesse, Angel, James, and everyone that was involved, during this obstacle. I'm not going to call it a situation. I'm not going to call it a problem, because this is truly just an opportunity. We learn, we grow, and that's why our vetting process is very, very strict right now. Very strict at what we, not just the people that we hire, but also the people that we bring into our circle. We just don't bring anyone to our circle. We're willing to help anyone and everyone to a certain extent. We got to make sure they have morals, ethics, and understand their values of what they're trying to achieve. There's a lot of people that reach out to us and say, "Hey, Chris, Jesse, Angel, James, I would love to partner with you guys." But sometimes there's toxic energy that's being matched, and you don't want to do that. Sometimes you got to learn how to just say no. It's not a good fit, or maybe that specific opportunity is not a good fit. Sometimes people like to force opportunities that's not there, and that's where a lot of disconnect happen. Oh, I don't want to hear about maybe there was an alignment. I don't want to hear about, I had a gut feeling. No. There's a reason why you're in a situation you're in right now. There's a reason why you're not taking accountability. I had to learn that the hard way. It's really start taking accountability from my own actions. I can only control what I can control, and I can only do what I'm able to do. Because let's be honest, if you can't control it, why are you stressing about it? If you truly can't control the situation and it's really out of your hands, and you've done all you could do, why are you stressing about it? That's why my mentality changed a lot as far as when buying properties, when things happen. And as you guys know, the fix and flip renovation we did over in Alaska a few years back, when the private investigator was hired because of all these different things that happened. We had $250,000 just stuck in escrow. A lot of things happen. Those are just obstacles. I didn't think one negative thing about that specific situation. I'm actually glad it happened, because it created a story. It created content. It created a lot of different things for our business, and we got through it. We just got around the right people and understand exactly what was happening. We learned from it, and then understand exactly, okay, great. So when you're buying a property subject to, sometimes it's actually okay that the bank knows. Not saying we want to let the bank know, but in this situation, with a lot of people already know about what happened in Alaska, Wells Fargo knew that we took it over subject to, because the seller unfortunately died, but the brother actually reported it to Wells Fargo that someone else owned the property, and Wells Fargo did not care. Now, guys, I want to preface, as a transaction coordinator, I'm not saying go out there and tell the bank you're taking over subject to. I'm not saying that, but I'm just letting you know that's what happened in that scenario. Wells Fargo and I had actually a pleasant phone call. They just wanted to know when they were going to get their money and how long it was going to take. That is it. I didn't receive any fines. I didn't receive nothing. I received a letter saying, "Hey, we have this many days." I didn't even receive a due on sale. If you want to talk about due on sale when it comes to Wells Fargo and all that good stuff, we did not receive that at all. So, guys, I just want to let you guys know that when you're facing obstacles, don't treat it as obstacles. Just treat it as opportunities, learning experience, the way to grow. If you don't face obstacles in your business, you're not growing. And if you are facing obstacles and you face those obstacles for a long period of time, maybe it's time for a change. Maybe you need to pivot. Maybe you need to regroup and understand exactly, okay, what we need to do to actually get to where we're going. Never take it as, oh, I'm about to just give up, right? Just really understand the situation. Think about, have you tried everything you have done? Or done everything? Basically, have you done everything within yourself to contribute to the business to make it go in the right direction? And I reflect on those things on a daily basis. Like, what can Chris James have done better to ensure that Jesse James and Angel is taken care of? What have Chris James done to ensure that lenders are taken care of, properties are being set up properly? You just never know. Sometimes you gotta self-reflect and really take accountability. And once you start doing that, things will start coming in. Things will just start coming together. And the reason I wanted to share that, guys, because I like to share wins. I definitely like to share wins. But I really like to share obstacles as well, because I don't like I don't like to see people struggle through those obstacles when there's always a solution. There's always a solution to any obstacle or opportunity. It's just more so, I think if a lot of people share more obstacles or losses or versus wins, people will know how to navigate those situations when they kind of develop in their business. So, and one thing I really learned, I think Kevin Hart said this best. I'm a huge Kevin Hart fan. I love comedy. I'm a very sarcastic individual once people get to know me. But he definitely said it best, guys. He said, I'm probably going to paraphrase just a little bit, but he said when his life got better when he started to learn that people are going to be who they are. You can't change it. And I really started to think about, there's a lot of times we have conversations with a lot of people and we don't really take a step back and realize maybe they are coming from a great place, but they're coming off negative. Maybe they are coming from a different direction, or maybe I just need to start learning this, stop expecting them to communicate the way I want them to communicate, or just understand my perception. Sometimes it's going to be hard to convince a lot of people to understand your point of view, and that's okay. So one thing I took away from there is that literally I'm going to stop expecting just people in general to stop showing up the way I really want them to show up in my life, because I can't control how they want to show up, but I can control how I can show up and just be true to myself. And one thing, as far as just me in general, I'm a very blunt individual. Sometimes too blunt, like, okay, Chris, well, you shouldn't set that. But no, sometimes it need to be stated, because at the end of the day, a lot of people that you're around not going to tell you the truth. They're not going to tell you the truth. And I literally only want people in my corner that's going to tell me the truth. I don't care how bad it hurts, but it needs to be stated. Because what if it's not stated? What's really going to happen? Like, do you create It's going to not just create, but it's going to cause a disconnect between one or more parties, and you don't want to do that. So when it comes to just friends, family, business relationships, whoever that may be, you got to start really understanding that you got to stop expecting them to show up or be there the way you really want them to be there. Whether that's communication, whether that's physical, whatever that may look like to you, really, if you really start to really truly understand that, I promise you guys, I literally promise you guys that your stress will go down. You won't really not care, but it won't really bother you as much versus thinking to you're thinking like taking the next 10 to 15 minutes why you can't sleep at night because this person reacted the way you didn't expect them to react. So that's something I want you guys to take away today. I really want you to take away that just understand, stop expecting people to show up the way you want them to show up. And when it comes to real estate, same thing. Pace, or I think Pace said it best. I think trust but verify. You want to trust but verify, but at the same time, understand your worth. Understand your worth. When you're going into JV partnerships or going into different opportunities, know your worth and make sure you're not being taken advantage of. Just think about it. I was thinking about this last night, so I was writing down on a lot of different things yesterday. Things. I reflect a lot. You guys know I reflect a lot. Usually it was like a month basis, and that changed from week to week. And now I do it on a daily before I go to sleep. Like, how did this Zoom go? What can I done better on this specific Zoom? How can I communicate it better? How can I articulate myself differently? How can they understand my point of view differently? And then I started writing down about more so investing or just investment, not dealing with money, so to speak, or financially. I'm talking about more so like consistent investment, like who in your life has given you consistent investment and vice versa. And when I say that, it's more so really truly understanding who in your life have given you consistency in regards to growth, development, pushing you into the right direction, and letting you know, like, hey, Chris, you need to stop what the fuck you're doing. It's not working that way, or something like that. You got to think about that. And once you write those specific individuals' names down, I promise you, it'll make you really think about, okay, is it a waste of time? Is it a waste of energy, or is it a waste of just anything that you're ever doing in life? Because there's a lot of people in your life specifically that you bring into your life. It's just wasting your time. It may seem good at the initial time you're doing it, but when you have a consistent investment, meaning the personnel, you really think about specifically, have John Doe really been consistent in the last 6-9 months to me? Or they showed up when specifically they needed something or wanted something. It really, and then when I was writing that down last night, it made me think, like, who in my life is consistently really showing up for me? Do they really understand what I'm going through? Do they really understand exactly what I'm trying to do in life? And the reason, and guys, again, when it comes to this kind of stuff, I'm not saying you have to reflect on a daily basis. I'm not saying you have to do that kind of stuff, but I know, again, when it comes to reflecting for me, I do it every single day. So I learned to really, taken away from all that I just stated, I learned to really just invest in the people who really invest genuinely in me, and not just take when it's convenient. What's going on, man? How are you?
Oh man, I'm just over here jealous of your. I'm like, does Chris have a virtual background, or does he look like he moved to Florida?
just a little bit, Yeah, this is the I'm actually in the pool area. But yeah, I'm in the pool area.
Naturally.
What's going on, man? How are you?
I'm good, man. I'm good. Dealing with car problems. this morning, so I just got back from the dealership. So I apologize for my tardiness, guys, but been listening in. This is awesome, Chris. Thank you for sharing that, bro.
Oh, absolutely, man. Absolutely. Everything okay with your car? Good to go on four wheels?
I bought a brand new truck, so I didn't have to have these issues. But then with the new diesels, like they have like all these DEF systems and anyway, so the dealership ended up having my truck for the entire month of June. So I didn't get any fishing done. And I know a lot of you guys that are watching this right now are on my salmon list. Like a lot of you guys have reached out and said, Jesse, send me some salmon. So I've got you guys, and I haven't been able to go fishing yet because I went camping last week and I missed the entire salmon run. There was no salmon where I was fishing. So I was there for an entire week with no fishing. I was supposed to go dip netting on Wednesday, and then I had truck issues. So I just dropped it off. So we'll see what happens, man. I hope I get some freaking fish this summer. Gosh dang.
Oh,
but all good, dude. I am blessed. I mean, goodness gracious. Nothing but abundance over here, bro. I'm grateful that I have a vehicle that I can even take and drop off to the dealership.
There you go.
What a blessing.
There you go. Oh, that is hilarious. So I'm actually on 8%. Let me grab my charger real quick. That's crazy. 1 second, I'm on 8%. Let me grab my charger.
Yeah, you're good, brother. You are good. What's going on, guys? I see Terry. We've got Terry in here. Dude, Terry was schooling me in pool. If you have my number, shoot me a text, guys. I've got some things I've got to handle with you guys. Terry was kicking my trash in pool yesterday, though. But oh my gosh, man, what a blessing! You know, I love everything that Chris was sharing. That's something that Chris and I have been very, very intentional about. Is understanding ourselves more, understanding our growth, understanding how we think, understanding who is important to us and who we need to pour our time, energy, and effort and love into. Being able to prioritize and have absolute clarity on where you're trying to go and who fits in that. I love that. That's something Chris and I have been very intentional about. And I couldn't agree more. If you guys aren't doing this stuff right now, let me give you something that you guys can take in addition to what Chris has given you guys already. I love that Chris mentioned like the self reflection aspect of what he does, like when he jumps into a Zoom or jumps into a podcast or does a live or whatever it is. One of the many things I admire about Chris is the self-reflection that he does afterward, the intentional self-reflection that he does afterward. And he's really done an amazing job of leading that charge in our group. And it just, he's a mentor to me and continues to help me get better and to be that person that I'm meant to be, to step into that role so that I can better serve him and our team as well. And if you guys aren't doing that, like make sure, we tell our clients, I know when people like want to start a podcast or when they go live on social media, as an example, they look at this like it's this big, just huge mountain. It's like Mount Everest. And it's like so intimidating. And it's like, man, where do I start? What do I say? And for a lot of us, I know myself included, when I was first kind of trying to figure out and find my voice, I thought everything had to be perfect. And maybe some of you guys are the same way. And while there's nothing wrong with wanting to chase perfection, the thing that most of us, I think, tend to forget is the way that you get to perfection is by being shitty first. Like if you want to be more active on your social media, you shouldn't try to create that perfect video. Like, nobody's going to see it. Odds are it's not going to gain a lot of traction. The first video you put out, not a lot of people are going to be reaching out and be like, oh my gosh, yes, this is the video I've been waiting for. I want to do deals with you. I want to make money with you. Like they're not. And that's okay. It's not supposed to be like that. So when you guys go live, or when you do a Zoom, or when you do any of these other things, I want you guys to look at these. I don't want you to look at these things as like Mount Everest. I want you to look at it like you're going out to the football field and we're just throwing the pigskin around. This is just practice. This is all leading up for what eventually is going to come. You know, all the podcasts, the Zooms, the lives, all the challenges, all those things that Chris and I have done just in the short 2 years that we've been partners. It's been all for practice. Each time that we get off a Zoom, each time that we get off a live, when we leave this podcast today, we will debrief on, hey, what could we have done better? What could we have changed? What went right? What were some of the key takeaways? What was the response rate? And it all leads up. It's just practice. And Chris and I were fortunate enough to be able to hold our very first mastermind along with some other amazing people, and to have James and Angel there right alongside of us putting this thing together was absolutely incredible. Those are the things that you're practicing for as you continue to scale your business, and the things that you'll end up doing. Those are game days. And so I would implore you guys, just as Chris is saying, get into the habit of journaling. Get into the habit of setting time aside for some self-reflection, so that with each little thing that you do, each time you go live, each time that you know, maybe you start that podcast, take the time to do some self-reflection. Find out what went right and what went wrong, where you can improve. Because those are the things that are going to lead up to the big thing, to the game day. So I just wanted to share that with you guys.
Thanks for sharing that, man.
Yeah, brother. Thank you, man. Thank you.
Much appreciated. So, guys, you know, as I was saying in the beginning, don't take anything that we said in a negative way. It's more so we like to share just the obstacles and the losses that we have. Again, I don't say loss, but obstacles or the opportunities in life that we have done in our business. It's going to happen in your businesses, and it's a matter of when it's going to happen. I was always told, quote unquote, you are not in business unless you're being sued or going to court or threatening to go be sued. We've been threatened a lot of times that they're going to take us to court. Good luck. Good luck. That's why we have paperwork in place, right? And I happen to know a great TC out there. But it's just the point of, guys, again, people is going to share a lot of the wins. Me personally, when I go on Facebook or Instagram, I look for the obstacles that happen within their business to see how I can ensure I bring this back to my team and understand, and let them know exactly, okay, this happened with John Doe. Let's see how we can prevent this to happen within our company. Because a lot of people won't share that, and I just want you guys to know that we're here to be a resource in whatever aspect that looks like. I know we say that a lot. A lot of people think, oh, we're just too busy. And yes, we're busy. We are busy. But we don't want people to be losing $10,000, $20,000, $1 million out there. I don't care how much whether you just say you lended $1. I don't want you to lose that dollar. So it's what you guys to truly understand, that when you're going through something, you make sure you have the right core around you. Make sure you understand that when it comes with a lot more money, it comes with a lot more problems. And that is, I thought that was more so just a phrase, but it's legitimately true. It is true. Jesse and I know that firsthand. With all the obstacles we faced since number one being New Haven. So, guys, we're vulnerable individuals. We like to share our what's going on in the past, what's currently going on in our businesses. We're pretty open book for the most part. Like we like to share, because essentially, I really hate with people's posts. I know I did a live training on this a couple weeks ago that someone lost $72,000, another individual lost $43,000. Like I really dislike seeing those posts, unfortunately, and it's unfortunate it's happening. And when you really get down to the nitty gritty of what really happened, the only person you can blame is the person that lost the money. That's truly the only person. Either they wasn't protecting the paperwork, or they didn't have the right paperwork, or they didn't have no paperwork in place because they trust the individual. I don't care if it's friend, family, friend, foe. I don't care if it's a Geico running around. I call them Geicos out here, guys. We're going to have some kind of document in place for a agreement. But guys, I know we're coming up on our time, but I just want you guys to really leave with just truly understanding that being around the right individual is going to be key. Stop expecting people to show up the way you want them to show up. It's not going to happen. You're just going to dig yourself into a deeper, I'm not going to say anxiety, nerve wracking, but whatever you're going through, it's going to make the negative energy just come out of you, and you don't need that in your life. So, and guys, another thing, one of my biggest one is just when it comes to consistency, look at who's the individuals in your life that are pouring into you consistently. And it doesn't have to be related to money. Jesse, any final thoughts on your end, my guy?
Dude, I think you hit the nail on the head, man. I think that was a great way to end. Being cognizant and getting really, really intentional. I think that's the biggest thing, man. It's something that we all hear is, hey, go be around the people that are doing what you want to be doing. Go be around the people that you want to be doing. And I know for me, and I don't know, maybe some of you guys might have gone through something similar, but I know, man, I was on, I had the blessing of being on Kimberly Hoyt's podcast yesterday. And it was neat because we got to, I mean, she did, if you guys haven't seen it, when she uploads it, go watch it, because she did a really good job of hosting the podcast. And it was neat because we basically went from where I started my first year, my second year, then when I met Chris, the things that we did that first year, and then how we pivoted our business, and then where we are now and where we're trying to go. And it was cool for her to be able to see that entire like chronological thing. And that first year, it took me an entire year to figure out how to make $1,200 basically. And that was because a lot of the things I keep hearing, people are saying, hey, go surround yourself with other people that are doing what you want to be doing. Go surround yourself with the right people. You become the average of the 5 people that you surround yourself with. Like, we hear all these things. And I don't know about you guys, but for me, that first year, like, I didn't do any of those things. It was like, yeah, I get it, but I need to make more calls. No, I get it, but I need to make more calls. And that's why it took me a year of working my ass off, of working weekends, missing like my kids' basketball games, like all sorts of things, just to figure out that what I was doing was not the way. Like, it took me a year to figure out that you can't do it this way.
Yep.
And so I think it's just a great reminder, man, that if you're surrounding yourself with people that are just as new as you, then you're doing it wrong. As you guys can see, I love music. And the way I always think about it is, if I was to go back and learn how to play guitar again, what I did when I first learned how to play guitar is I had like basically 3 or 4 other friends that picked up guitar, and then a couple of them picked up guitar, and then bass, and then one of them picked up drums. And it was just like a bunch of newbies just figuring out how to even play our instruments and all these other kind of things. And while it was great and it was fun and all that kind of stuff, if you were to look at that, if the goal was to learn how to play as fast as possible and as technical as possible and as little as time as possible, with that goal, which is what a lot of us have with our businesses, it's like, well, if I could not, take 20 years to learn how to do something and I could learn it, like, that would be the goal, right? So it really is, it's not necessarily easy, but a lot of these concepts are very simple. Look at who you're surrounding yourself with. Look at the standards that you're holding yourself to. How consistent are you guys? How reliant are you on yourself to do the things that need to be done? And how are you holding other people accountable to do the things that need to be done? And, from day one, that was always mine and Chris's thing. And I'll just close with this, man. As you guys know, maybe some of you guys don't, Chris and I are both visionaries. We don't have an integrator in our business. And I've had a lot of people be like, what the fudge? You don't have an integrator? I was always told you had to have an integrator. Like, you got to have an integrator visionary. You don't. What you need is somebody who is aligned with what it is you're trying to do. And not only do you got to have somebody who's in alignment with what you're trying to do, you got to have somebody who shares that same hunger. And those are the people that you need to be surrounding yourself with. Like Chris said, he wakes up every day and he's trying to do anything and everything he can to make sure that my family's taken care of, that James and Angel are taken care of. And I know that everybody else is doing the exact same thing. I'm doing the exact same thing. I'm waking up every day with the intent of making sure that everybody else is taken care of as well. And that's something that's really special and it's really neat. And it's rare. Some of you guys know Chris and I, our friendship started because we were on each other's board of advisors. Because we were like, we knew the importance of surrounding yourself with people that are wanting, like doing what you want to be doing. So we were in a board of advisors with about 4 or 5 other guys. And Chris and I outgrew that group. Because the things that we were willing to tolerate were far less than what everybody else was. Everybody else was okay with being inconsistent. Everybody else was okay with being comfortable. And we outgrew that group. It served its purpose. All of this to say, Chris hit the nail on the head. And leaving this Zoom, make sure you're putting something together that will put you in the vicinity of people that are doing what you want to be doing to expedite your growth. If you're wanting to learn how to go play guitar, don't do it like I did with a bunch of newbies. Go find other people that are a step ahead of you, or 2 steps ahead of you, or 3 steps ahead of you, or 5 steps ahead of you, and watch how fast your life changes. And then take those things and go serve the people that are at your level with those things. So I'll leave you guys with that.
Guys, don't forget to join our Facebook group. We got a little bit over 1,000 people in there. And if you have any questions, just feel free to reach out to the community. They're here to help. We're here to be a resource. No offense of us about it. Until next time, guys, we appreciate you.
Thanks for listening to the House of Cards podcast with Chris James and Jesse Stanton. We hope you've enjoyed this episode and have learned something new about real estate investing. Be sure to follow us on Facebook and Instagram for more tips and tricks. And don't forget to subscribe on your favorite podcast platform so you never miss an episode. Until next time.